This video is about how we got from the bare lawn to the food forest and vegetable garden we have now. It is about our challenges, about our pitfalls, and we are not showing a polished end product, but our work in progress. When we moved in 2022 from cold Katoomba to tea gardens, I secretly dreamed about moving to a nearly tropical climate. You can always dream. Tea gardens, classified as warm-tempered by most and as subtropical by some. It's not tropical. We cannot grow coconuts and we can't grow cacao. But we can grow a lot of cool stuff like bananas, sweet potatoes, taro, mango and passion fruit. That's how it really is. Plants grow much slower here than in Brisbane. Warm climate plants shut down in winter. We decided to start food forest plants with all edible, medicinal and useful plants. Of course, we wanted the home garden to be all edible. Planned our garden so that the front yard is retail nursery and our food forest, and the back is annual vegetables and food forest. After only 2 years, we are already redesigning our garden. But let me tell the story. Why we redesigned our garden after such a short time. The main part we actually redesigned is our vegetable garden, and the story goes like that. So we moved, we renovated the house, we set up the nursery. It took all ages, much longer than we thought, and I still didn't have a vegetable garden. So the idea then was to make something instant, what people do. So I simply laid a layer of cardboard, very thick, and bought soil at the local landscaper, heaped it up to about 30 centimeters, as wide as a bed, and then filled the pathways up with wood chips. I thought that would be a very good idea. I will harvest soon. However, this was an epic fail at first, and not even super easy seeds like rocket would germinate in that soil. When I was selling plants to locals, they told me it's the soil. It always happened with soil of that said company. Well, you cannot beat local knowledge. However, after 6 months struggling with that soil, it miraculously slowly improved, and I actually could grow a very decent crop. What I think it was that this soil did have a lot of gum tree vines, and they were toxic, and after a while these toxins leached out and broke down. So I got loads of vegetables, and that was all good. But I couldn't grow any root vegetables and no carrots. The reason being that the soil was just too shallow. Because it turned out that our soil wasn't all sand. There was a layer of sand, and underneath was a very hard and very compacted layer of stones with a lot of clay. No dig is good, but sometimes, well, you have to dig. I, 61 years old, dug through that hard pan by hand. It was hot and it was sweaty. But being that old, I also got a bit wiser and flooded the area so that the hard pan gets softer, and waited a bit until it softened up and then dug. Okay, that went well for a couple of months. I harvested and planted, and I didn't know about bitter melons and planted way too many of them, and other vegetables too. Until that bandicoot moved in. He or she works at night, digs and digs. So during the day I was sowing seeds, and the bandicoot digs all my beds up at night, and there is no way to get rid of it. It's protected, it's native, it's persistent, and it loves our garden. So we decided to build raised garden beds. We got a pile of old roofing sheets from the tip shop. Before the raised garden beds I had very narrow paths. Now they have to be a bit wider. They are around 55 centimeters. These 55 centimeter paths are not designed for a wheelbarrow, but I want to maximize the growing space. The first beds are working well. We will be building more vegetable beds so that eventually the whole vegetable garden is raised beds. This garden is a test ground for our nursery. We are moving plants a lot. For example, all the spiky berries will go in the main garden. While the food forest grows, I also grow annuals in between. The second part of our redesign is that some of the beds got a metal edge. These are the beds of the food forest. And probably we will be doing more of it. When we moved in, the whole garden was flat, and during big rains it would flood. The water table is quite high here. We created mounds for the avocados and an area that is lower. That's where the water puddles when it rains, and it's intentionally. So far it works, only that we planted 2 Panama berries in the low point, and they died, they drowned, both of them, and they were bearing so nicely. What a shame. Okay, back to the metal edge. I didn't actually like the look of these hills all that much. I wanted a more finished edge and I wanted a more pronounced edge. So I think he did a good job there, and the edge looks good, at least in my opinion. I also like that the beds now are more level and they're easy to work with, and the mulch I throw over will actually stay there. Both of our gardens will continue to evolve, and we will continue to do lots of experiments. If you like our experiments, then come for a chat in our nursery, or leave a comment below if you can't come. See you later.